So now we have 30 minutes of company spotlights. We do have 3 companies to present themselves and their activities. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, so I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, please. So the floor is yours. Please proceed.
Perfect. Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me here today. It's really great to be part of this webinar with people joining from different parts of the world. In a time really when aerospace and space ecosystems are evolving so rapidly across the GCC and globally. My name is Sara Ghoneim. I am the founder of Spacioply. My background is in industrial engineering, aerospace programs, and strategic supply chain leadership. And capability development. I've had leadership experience across organizations, including Boeing, British Petroleum, and advanced industrial ecosystems. Throughout my 16 years career leading aerospace programs, supplier development, and industrial transformation initiatives, I kept seeing the same challenge repeatedly. Organizations had access to enormous amounts of industrial and supplier data, but very limited structured visibility into the ecosystem as a whole. That challenge ultimately became my inspiration and the foundation behind building Spacioply. So, what if organizations could actually see the entire ecosystem in a structured way? Today, all of these questions on the screen right now that you see are all connected. If organizations cannot clearly understand where capabilities exist, how mature ecosystems are, where dependencies are concentrated, or how resilience is evolving, then strategic decisions become slower, more fragmented, and increasingly reactive. At the same time, organizations are spending a lot of time manually researching suppliers, validating industrial readiness, benchmarking ecosystems, and assessing opportunities across really disconnected sources. So all of these questions here feeds into one central challenge. How do we make faster, smarter, and more resilient strategic decisions across increasingly complex aerospace ecosystems? That's the problem that Spacioply was built to address. So what is Spacioply? It's a strategic capability intelligence platform designed to transform fragmented industrial data into structured ecosystem intelligence. It's a platform that has a lot behind the scenes. It brings together capabilities, suppliers, technologies, regions, and industrial ecosystem data into one structured intelligence layer. So instead of looking at companies in isolation, organizations can now understand broader ecosystem maturity, strategic gaps, resilience exposure, dependency concentration within the supply chain, and emerging industrial opportunities. So for OEMs, for example, that means accelerating supplier and sourcing decisions. For governments, it means understanding industrial capability development and localization opportunities. And then for investors and ecosystem stakeholders, it means identifying strategically positioned growth opportunities across the ever so fast evolving industrial ecosystems. And then for the suppliers or the space companies, it creates visibility for them into their competitive market, how their capabilities are positioned, how they're benchmarked and understood within the broader ecosystem. All of this information comes from my experience. I was the one basically going out to suppliers, doing the supply chain assessment on different suppliers to position, prioritize suppliers and benchmark suppliers. So all of this experience comes into what Spacioply is. So how does it work? Spacioply has a lot of layers in the background, okay? It's an intelligence platform. There's a lot of structured engineering frameworks behind the scenes and multidimensional intelligence methodologies behind the scenes. They're all designed to analyze the industrial ecosystem. The platform aggregates all the fragmented supplier and industrial data into a unified intelligence layer. It not only looks at the supplier's capabilities, understands their growth, their projected transformation, etc. It also looks at other dimensions around the ecosystem like human capital, financial context, geopolitical exposure, supply chain resilience, their research and development teams, their quality, their certifications, etc. So all of these are built into the behind the scenes. And then it's shown as a front end to what the actual platform that you see. So let me show you a mini demo. So if you go into the Spacioply website, you land in the homepage. If you click to the analytics, this is exactly where, if you're a subscribed member, you would find all of the information in the analytics, the front end of the capabilities. So you have different tabs. There's the Capability Intelligence tab, Supplier Intelligence tab with Advanced Supplier Selection Tools, Strategic Lens tab, and Intelligence Search. So think of it like it's going from macro global supplier mapping into a micro level within the capabilities. So here you have the front end, the supply chain map. You can view it by region and by country. If you keep drilling down, you can drill into the capabilities, the sub-capabilities and specializations in regions, and you can customize your filtration. You can show the top 20 companies or show all, and then you can also compare. I'm just going to demo here, for example. And then it gets deeper into the company's information, market position intelligence, their intelligence scoring, capabilities, certifications, projects, project insights, capability insights, key strengths, area for improvement, AI recommendations, and a lot more insight on capability intelligence, their human resources, financial and geopolitical and risk health intelligence. If you dig deeper, it goes through maturity score distribution, geographic distribution of top performance, and also you can deep dive by sub-capability. So let's say here, for example, the geospatial satellite and applications, it tells you how many suppliers, the average maturity, the year-on-year growth, and different dimension index that is useful for you if you are interested in investing, let's say, in this capability, or you want to see the overarching view, the 10-year growth projection, regional clustering, etc. As you dig deeper, you go into deep dive for projects. You can filter by the different parameters here. Then you can go into supplier intelligence and you can customize your advanced supplier selection tool here. So based on a custom weighted, so you adjust the parameters based on what is important for your search and what does that trade-off look like with the suppliers that are matching your criteria. You can also filter by cost, maturity, and reliability. For example, here for maturity, you can also see the list of companies and the maturity scoring. And you can click on the company and you see the same reporting that I showed earlier. You can also filter by regional selection. You can compare regions to see how different regions compare to each other and benchmarking. In your Strategic Lens tab, you can also customize your view based on the audience. So if you're a procurement manager, what matters the most to you? If you're an OEM, where do you invest and localize or build national capability? So the view is customized for you as an audience. If you're an investor, what matters to you the most? Cost index, market concentration index, market attractiveness matrix, investment target ranking, etc. There's also
we have 30 minutes, 30 seconds.
Okay. Feel free to reach out to me for a full-on demo that is customized to your needs. So essentially for Spacioply, My goal is to transition from fragmented visibility into strategic ecosystem intelligence. And just for this demo, I want to announce a free trial subscriptions for the first 20 companies that register their capabilities into our ecosystem after this webinar. So please connect with us and reach out to me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I encourage everyone to join to test.